Bruce Willis, an actor and musician, is widely recognized for his performances as characters who are referred to for his or her funny or hard-edged nature, regularly in actions which might be sensational over the direction of his career he has. Showcased his talents in movies which have together earned extra than $2. 5 billion USD. What these days became the fate of such an icon include let's locate out a retired American actor. Walter Bruce Willis is known for his work after attaining prominence as an movement-famous person for his depiction of John Umlin. In the Die Hard franchise among the years 1988 and 2013, he became well known for his main position on the comedy-drama series Moonlighting. He is featured in over 100 movies over the course of his career. Willis has been honored in a number of prestigious activities and awards, inclusive of a Golden Globe Award Primetime, Emmy Awards, and 2 People's Choice Awards. He became venerated with a star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame at the Box Workplace in North America movie starring Willis have brought in, among $64 billion and $3.05 billion, which located him as the 7th highest-grossing leading actor in the industry, allows get into information at the 19th of March 1955. Walter Bruce Willis changed into born in Eder Oberstein, which was located in what was then referred to as West Germany. His mother, Marlene, was of German descent and became at first from Kassel. His father, David Willis, became a soldier from the U.S. He has a more youthful sister, Florence, and more youthful brothers, Robert, who is deceased, and David in 1957. Whilst his father changed into subsequently disregarded from the military, he moved the own family to Kearney Point, New Jersey, which became his fatherland. Willis has defined his heritage as a lengthy lineage of blue-collar human beings. His mom worked in a bank, while his father have become a welding technician, master mechanic, and manufacturing worker. He went to Penns Grove High School in Kearney's Point Township, in which his schoolmates dubbed him Greenback Book. Willis joined the theater organization and observed that acting on degree lessened his stutter. He became eventually selected pupil council president Penns Grove. Excessive turned into his graduate faculty upon graduating from secondary college. He labored as a security defend at the Salem Nuclear Energy Plant and drove team participants on the DuPont Chambers Works business in Deepwater. He started out to behave after operating as a non-public detective, a function he subsequently played within the series of comedy-drama Moonlighting. And the movement comedy movie The Last Boy Scout. Willis enrolled in the performing software at Montclair State University, in which he were given a function within the production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. He left the college in 1977 and relocated to New York City, where he helped himself as a bartender at Kamikaze, an artwork bar in Manhattan, at the same time as living inside the Hell's Kitchen community. As a singer, Willis recorded his debut album The Return of Bruno, observed by way of extra albums. In the past due 1980s, Willis located minor reputation as an audio recording artist, recording an album of pop blues, The Go Back of Bruno, which featured the Spoil Unmarried Respect Yourself with the Pointer Sisters. The LPWAs marketed with the aid of a spinal faucet-like rockumentary parody containing clips of Willis performing at famed event. Inclusive of Woodstock, he launched an up-to-date model of the Drifter song under the boardwalk as a second single. It reached Variety 2 on the United Kingdom single chart, however, turned into now not as famous. In the U.S., Willis went again to the recording studio regularly. He made his theater debut in the stage edition of Distress in 2015. His starring look in Moonlighting along Sybil Shepherd contributed to establish him as a humorous actor. For the duration of the display's 5 seasons, he earned an Emmy Award for Superb Lead Actor in a Drama Collection and a Golden Globe Award for Nice Actor Television Series, Musical, or Comedy. At some stage in the peak of the show's achievement, beverage manufacturer Cram reduced in size Willis because the pitchman for his or her Golden Wine Cooler brand. The advertising campaign paid Willis $57 million over 2 years. Willis determined not to extend his contract, whilst he opted to prevent drinking alcohol. In 1988, Willis acquired his first lead part inside the Blake Edwards picture Blind Date, co-starring along Kim Basinger and John Lorette. Edwards solid him again to carry out the actual existence cowboy actor. Tom Mix inside the movie Sunset. The same year, 1988, he featured Ed in an action position in Die Hard as John Emlan. He performed most of his very own acrobatics in the film, and it grossed 138M78852 international following his breakthrough. With Die Hard, Willis had a prominent role within the drama in U.S. as Vietnam veteran E.M.T. Smith, and additionally gave the voice for a Speak Me infant in appearance whose Speak Me and the following sequel, Look Who's Talking to Willis, owns houses inside. The metropolis of Los Angeles and Penn's Guiave, New Jersey, he also rents devices inside the Trump Tower, and in Riverside, South Manhattan, Willis and his business partner Arnold Rifkin formed a motion photo production business, enterprise named Cheyenne Enterprises. He left the enterprise to be controlled absolutely by way of Rifkin following Live Free or Die Hard. He additionally owns many small businesses in Haley, Idaho, along with the Mint Bar and the Liberty Theater, and changed into considered one of the preliminary entrepreneurs of Planet Hollywood with actors Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Willis and the opposite actors have been paid for their appearances and sponsorships through and worker inventory possession scheme going further. Willis signed a contract to serve as the global face of Badir S.A.'s Sobieski vodka in return for 3% possession inside the company, having earned top-notch non-public fulfillment and cultural affect gambling. John M. Lan and Ehud Willis picked up his position in the Observe Up, Die Hard Do, and Die Hard With a Vengeance. These first three films in the Die Hard series grossed over 700 million U.S. remote places and accelerated Willis to the primary rank of Hollywood action icons in advance in his performing career. Willis had a mild stoop as acted in screw-ups inclusive of The Bonfire of the Vanities and Hudson Hawk. Although he did obtain field workplace fulfillment with The Final Boy Scout, he accomplished more reputation with Striking Distance, however, faltered again with Coloration of Night. It became mocked by means of critics but offered well in the home video market and emerged as one of the pinnacle 20 most rented movies in the United States in 1995, and Maxim named his intercourse act in the film because the fine inside the history of film in 1996 he became the executive producer and lead of the animation Bruno the Child, which included a CGI photograph of himself that equaled 12 months he featured in Mike Judge's caricature film Bees and Butthead Do America alongside his then-spouse Demi Moore. Within the film, he portrays a drunken crook named Muddy Grimes who mistakenly sends Judge's titular characters to kill his wife, Dallas, voiced by using Moore. He later performed the lead parts in 12 Monkeys. In The Fifth Element, however, by using the stop of the 90s, his profession had slipped into yet another decline with seriously condemned films such as The Jackal, which, despite criticism, become a field office hit, Mercury Rising and Breakfast of Champions, as well as the crash of the manufacturing of Broadway brawler, A Failure, recovered best through the fulfillment of the Michael Bay-directed Armageddon, of which Willis accepted the provide to megastar in as compensation for the failed manufacturing, and which turned out to be the best-grossing film of 1998 worldwide. The identical 12 months his voice and likeness had been utilized in the PlayStation Online game Apocalypse, Willis additionally portrayed the starring component in M. Night Shyamalan's movie The Sixth Experience, which became both a commercial and vital. Triumph in 2000, Willis received an Emmy for Outstanding Visitor Actor in a comedy series for his function on Pulse, in which he acted as the daddy of Ross Geller's A Great Deal More Youthful Lady Friend. He also acquired nominations the following year for the American Comedy Award inside the funniest male guest appearance in a TV series class for his performance in Friends Rapid Ahead. To 2010, Willis changed into the 9th highest grossing actor in a major role and 12th the highest. Inclusive of roles of support, Willis reprised his most renowned person, John Lan, for a 5th time, performing in A Good Day to Die Hard in an interview. Willis remarked, "I actually have a heat location in my heart for Die Hard. It's just the natural area of expertise of being able to play the equal character for 25 years and nevertheless be asked again. It is fun. It's miles extra tough to should do a movie twice and have to compete with oneself. That's what I do in Die Hard. I try to enhance my abilities." Every time throughout his appearing profession, Willis has depicted diverse military roles in films together with in USA, The Siege Heart's War, Tears of the Sun, Grindhouse, and Your Retaliation. Willis grew up in a Navy-owned family. He donated Girl Scout cookies at the USA military in 2002. Willis's then 8-year antique daughter, Tula, requested that he purchase Girl Scout cookies to supply to gadgets. He bought 12,000 bins of cookies, and they were handed to sailors aboard USS John F. Kennedy and different forces stationed around the Middle East at the time, so in 2003. His interest in Navy roles grew from simply films to actual existence. Situations. Willis went to Iraq at some stage in the course of the USO tour singing To the Troops with his personal band. The Accelerators, he pondered becoming a member of the Army. To assist fight the second Iraq conflict but become stopped because of his age it turned into claimed, he gave 1 million Estonian non-combatant that became in terrorist leaders. Osama bin Laden, Ayman al-Zawahiri, or Abu Musab al-Zarqa within the June 2007 issue of Vanity Fair boot, he confused that the announcement became made theoretically and not intended to be taken. Literally, Willis has additionally attacked the media for its insurance of the warfare, arguing that the press become extra inclined to concentrate on the terrible factors of the war. I went to Iraq because what I discovered at the same time as I was over there was soldiers, young kids for the greatest element, supporting people in Iraq, assisting to put the energy back on, helping to get healthcare facilities open, helping get the water positioned lower back on, and you never pay attention, any of that on the information you pay attention. X-wide variety of human beings have been murdered nowadays, which I assume does a terrible harm. It is like spitting on these young guys and ladies which might be over there, combating to help this of a now out of doors. His expert life, he had a completely exciting and ongoing intimate lifestyles that in addition described his life's final results. Allows take a look at check that out. Willis met actress Demi Moore on the highest quality for the movie Stakeout They Married on November 21st, 1987, and had 3 daughters, which includes Rumor, who was born in August 1988. Willis and Moore made public their separation, and years after filed for a divorce at the 18th of October 2000. The divorce turned into finalized later the identical day. Willis felt he had failed as a father and a husband by not having the ability to make it work regarding the divorce. He gave credit score to actor Will Smith for helping him cope with the situation. He tended the marriage of his ex-wife Moore and her next husband, actor Ashton Kutcher, and maintained a near friendship with both of them. Willis later got engaged to actress Brooke Burns, but till 2004, once they broke up, that was after 10 months collectively he married model Emma Hemming in Turks and Chaos on March 21st, 2009. Visitors covered his 3 daughters as well as Moore and Kutcher. The right did no longer bind them legally in order that they wed again in a civil ceremony in Beverly Hills. 6 days later, the couple has 2 daughters, Mabel Ray Willis and Evelyn Penn Willis, born in 2012 and 2014, respectively. Apparently, it may wonder you to find that Willis wasn't sincerely an actor and musical artist. For the duration of his existence, he became also an activist. Willis, alongside then-spouse Demi Moore, campaigned for the Democratic Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis in the 1988 presidential race. He in the end supported President George H.W. Bush for a 2D time period and become an ardent critic of Bill Clinton. He refused to propose Clinton's Republican opponent Bob Dole due to the fact Dole insulted Demi Moore for her role within the film. Striptease. Willis became an official speaker on the Republican National Conference and stood with the aid of George W. Bush that year. Willis argued that the United States ought to act more considerably in Colombia to save you drug trafficking from that United States. With multiple interviews, Willis claimed that the advocates accelerated salaries for teachers and cops, and that he's disappointed with the United States foster care device and the mistreatment of Native Americans. Willis defends gun rights, saying all of us has a right to bear weapons. If you take weapons far from lawful gun proprietors, then the handiest ones who've guns are the crook men, just while his life had taken a stability together with his career and circle of relatives. Then came the shaking live tune. To find out in the later years of his profession, Willis featured in numerous budget-friendly, unbiased thrillers and technological know-how fiction films. He labored in large part with the production enterprises EMT Furla Oasis, directed through Randall EMT, and 308 Enjoyment Inc., headed via Corey Big. EMT Furla Oasis produced 20 movies, starring Willis, described by means of Krishna Shawati of Esquire as a worthwhile safe harbor for getting old stars comparable to The Expendables. Maximum of the films came out direct-to-video and had been severely disliked. Willis frequently made $2 million US for a work of 2 days within a mean of 15 minutes in step with film display time. He changed into Despite the fact that featured often in the movie's marketing substances, earning them the demeaning label gear teasers, the Golden Raspberry Awards, an annual prize for the Wire's Worst Films and Performers, created a separate class, the Worst Bruce Willis Overall Performance in a 2021 film for his parts in 8 films launched that year. The ones working at the films later said Willis appeared at a loss for words. Now note expertise, the reason he become there, and needed to take delivery of lines via a near-piece days. Earlier than Willis turned into scheduled to come back on Vicinity for Out of Dying, the screenplay was asked to minimize his function and decrease his traces, and the director Mike Burns changed into told to complete all of Willis's scenes in just in. The future of filming on March 30th, 2022. Willis's own family stated that he was quitting the movie enterprise because he were diagnosed with aphasia, a ailment regularly resulting from damage to the A part of the brain that controls spoken language. And Comprehension, quickly after the Golden Raspberry Awards, removed its Willis class, believing it unacceptable to offer a Razzie to a person whose performance turned into impaired through a clinical circumstance in the meantime of his retirement. Willis had shot 11 films looking ahead tour lease on February 16, 2023. Willis's own family mentioned that he were recognized with frontotemporal dementia, primarily based on Greg Day, a neurologist at the Mayo Clinic's Florida campus. Signs include troubles with language and comprehension in addition to misreading of instructions in a assertion. The family stated that Willis's health has advanced and that the difficulties with communicating are most effective. One symptom of the sickness they expressed. Wish that media awareness on Willis might boost awareness approximately the circumstance folks who frontotemporal dementia can go through, situation along with converting personalities and speech loss. The symptoms boom through the years there. May be no treatment or treatment, dementia may be an clean issue for any circle of relatives to stand in different instances. It can even break them up. But that won't appear to the Willis as his ex-spouse Demi Moore swears to live by using Bruce's facet till thievery give up of his combat with the sickness. The die-hard star, a father to 5 women on Father's Day in June, obtained a particular homage from the girls in his life, who characterized him as their favorite girl. Dad, happy Father's Day. To our quality woman dad, we like you. B.W. Demi Moore published on Instagram in a submit accomplished in conjunction with Emma Hemming. Willis, as well as Scout Willis, Tula Willis, and Rumor Willis throughout his fitness-demanding situations. Bruce Willis's circle of relatives has been by using his aspect every moment at the time of his analysis. With aphasia, they declared in an announcement that they were going forward as a sturdy own family unit, so we discovered no proof that Willis had died as the today's replace. Indicates demise hoaxes regarding Willis have circulated over the internet because his fitness condition went public as a substitute. It's Miles believed that fanatics of Bruce Willis are dropping tears over a movie written through Bruce Willis that they hadn't visible before claiming that it's far one his best works. They have got cited the film Tears of the Sun, which turned into released in 2003 and become a Hollywood blockbuster as a masterpiece after it turned into Just Made. Available on the streaming webpage, they've been left in tears after discovering that one of the actors' much less well-known movies, which some human scoos to refer to as the STTs of the Naughties, has been delivered to Netflix. A fan commented on this in a Facebook web page that became specifically committed to Netflix exceptional movie he ever made, Apart Armageddon. And I could not choose.